So it's been a long time since I last posted a video, and to be exact, it has almost been like 38 days if I'm not wrong, and there's a very good reason for it. So in the last couple of months, work was getting a little bit busy and there were quite a lot of overseas trips that I had to go for work. So this kind of slowed down the pace of me creating videos like these. But for those of you that are still subscribed, thank you so much for staying subscribed, and I'll see how I can put aside more time to create more content that matter to you guys. And because I've been traveling quite a bit, I also managed to try out something, which is spending on different cards to see how each of these exchange rate works between the different cards. And by the end of the video, I hope that it gives you some idea on which card you can use when you travel, the different benefits that it has, and the best situation to use these cards. So when I travel, I use two main cards, which is the Trust card and Tiger Boss. So the reason for these two cards is very simple, because it's the only two cards that I have which boast a 0% FX. And one is a debit card, which is a lot safer when using overseas, and the other is a credit card, which is mainly used for larger purchases. So let's take a look at some of the transactions that I did at a bar that we were having some drinks in Bangkok. So for comparison, I can only compare between Tiger Boss and Trust card because these were the only two cards that I was using for the F&B outlet. And at the restaurant, we were having some cocktails, so I swapped my Tiger Boss card to pay for the drinks, and these came up for an exchange rate of 27.1361 baht to 1 Sing dollar. And then we had another round of drinks, and this time I used my Trust card, and with the Trust card, the exchange rate was 27.027 baht for 1 Sing dollar. So on paper, Tiger Boss looks like a clear winner, but we've got to include that 10-cent conversion fee that Tiger Boss charges. So if we include that conversion fee in, we're actually getting 2 baht less as compared to Trust. So instead of 27.1361 baht to $1, it's more like 27.1361 baht for $1.10 or 24.669 baht to $1. So although the 10-cent fee is rather small, but it's something that's being charged on every transaction that you do when you have overseas spend. And then I also got to try out Revolut, and I used Revolut when we took the underground train to go from place to place. And this was my friend's card, so I was like, hey, let me try it out. And with Revolut, the exchange rate is 27.0027 baht for $1, which puts it in between Trust and Tiger Brokers. So outside of the foreign exchange fees and etc., we also have to look at things like the benefits and the safety of each card, so we can determine which one is for you when you guys travel. So personally for me, I always have a debit card and a credit card. And the debit card pays for my small ticket items like your coffee, your food, transportation. And with a debit card, I usually top up a small amount, like a couple hundreds, and then when it's done, I top up again. So this gives me a peace of mind, because with small shops, there are chances of scams happening, like machines having an additional card reader on it, and they can steal your card details, which can lead to funds getting drained from your account. So in the event if I ever got scammed, I would only lose whatever is in the card. So for credit card, this means a larger purchase, and most of the items usually cost more than a couple $100. So this could be things like your hotel stays, if you're buying some shopping stuff as well, this is what I use a credit card for. So if I look at the fees, we can see that Trust comes in with better exchanges rate as compared to Revolut and Tiger Boss. But outside of the fees alone, Trust and Tiger Boss do comes with additional perks and benefit, which can make you choose one card over the other. So starting with Tiger Boss, it comes with a 1% cashback, which will automatically be converted to Tesla shares once your cashback hits an amount of $1. So for every $100 that you spend, you get $1 of Tesla shares. So this is pretty good for people who are looking to accumulate Tesla shares when the prices are low and enjoy the gains when the prices pump again. So I do enjoy this small tiny little perk, and have accumulated some fractional Tesla shares here and there, and hopefully this becomes a bigger pot of money. And then we move over to the Trust card section. The benefits here are a little bit more complex and not that straightforward. So my strategy with Trust is to make sure that I hit 5 transactions every single month to get an extra 0.5% of interest, which means I get a base rate of 1.5% plus 0.5%, which makes it 2%. And because I'm an NTUC member and I shop at NTUC regularly, I do get additional 1% instead of that 0.5% when I make 5 transactions per month. So with my Trust card, this mainly holds some of the cash that I have, and I use it primarily for travels, and if there's no travels in that particular month, I'll use it for transportation or maybe just buying a couple of drinks, so I hit that 5 transactions per month. And by doing so, it gives me additional interest on my card balance, And on top of that, I do score NTUC points when you spend overseas as well. So these points can then later be converted or used to offset my meals when I eat at Kopitiam or when I buy groceries at NTUC. So I do not have a Revolut card on hand because I use my friend's card just to give it a try. But from what I know from the website, it's mainly a debit card and there's a paid cashback plan. So what this means, it means that you are required to pay for a Revolut plan and then the cashback will be kept at the Revolut plan that you got. So although Revolut boasts a 1.5% cashback and it seems pretty decent and it's pretty high, it doesn't float my boat because I don't like to pay to get cashback. And at the same time, the cashback is also capped at your card subscription, so it's not too much of a plus point for me. So for my use case, when I travel for work, I use Trust Card as my main card because of the 0% FX rates, and based on the transactions that I have, it has proven to give me the best rates among the others that I've compared against. So Tiger Boss is like a little backup card that I have if my credit card doesn't go through for some reason, so I'll always have that spare debit card that can be used to pay for things that I need. So I would also like to know what cards are you guys using when you guys travel, and is there a particular reason why you use a particular card? And with that, it brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you got any questions, please let me know.